Hi guys, welcome to today's Garage Cricket. Today is very simple. The theme is playing through the offside and we're going to deliver that through a nice little simple mini game that you can play. As always, you just need to get yourself a ball, a wall and something to hit with. Obviously if you've got other things in play, you've got guys that can bowl to you, be creative to make sure that you can get yourself outside and work on playing through the offside. You've got all the freedom to decide what types of shot you're going to play, and let's see if you can solve the game and get as many runs as possible today. So, today's game is really quite simple. We're going to have a game of offside cricket, which means, as it sounds, you can only play shots through the offside. So the leg side is out of the game. It's nice and simple. So, I'll take my stance here for me as a right-hander. If I hit any shots that go to the leg side, that results in me losing my wickets. If I was to hit the ball and it hits that cabinet, my innings is over. I've got to walk back to the pavilion and I'm out. Your challenge is to score as many runs as you can through the offside without getting out. Straight is good, the back wall is in, the offside is in. You need to use your imagination potentially to think where the fielders are. If you've got props and things, chairs, things like that, you can obviously put those fielders in play to give yourself some targets. But go and have fun and see, can you score 10 runs, then 50 runs, and then a century in this game of offside cricket without making a mistake. Remember, LBWs, bolds, any catches to edges to the slip cord, and they're all still in play. Now, I'm just going to talk through some different variations of the game, and then after that, I may give a couple of coaching hints. But enjoy batting. So then, different variations of my offside cricket game. The first thing I could potentially do is I can move the stumps over here like that, which obviously is going to cramp me as a batsman. So that means that all the balls, pretty much, a ball can't go down my leg side here. So that's going to make it slightly easier for me in the sense that all deliveries are going to either be straight or to the offside. At the same time, it also means that I can't back away into the cupboard there, which is a really good thing for guys who are beginning to play, who when they want to play their shot, they're probably going to try and give themselves room. In this scenario, we want you to get used to it, playing from in line with the stumps here. So it would just be playing your game in this scenario here, and you would be amazed how simple things like having this cabinet here can do a really, really good job for your footwork. It will mean if the ball is straight, you might need to be compact in your defence. And the great thing about this game here is it stops the idea that as you play the shot, your bottom hand can't take over. Because if your bottom hand takes over when you're defending, you're going to play into the leg side and you are going to be out. Now the second variety, we can move the stumps back maybe to the middle. So this time here, you can obviously free yourself up if you'd like to go and create some space for yourself. Now that's absolutely fine. You take the risk of exposing your stumps, but it opens up some more options for you. So you can work potentially if the ball's in here on your legs. That one there wasn't in on my legs. If the ball potentially comes in there, you can clear the leg to open up the offside. And these are really good habits to kind of build in because it means that you can score through more areas, meaning that you can spread the field out a little bit more. And as I say, by having the stumps here in the middle, it does mean that you can get a ball down that channel there, and you need to think about how are you going to play that ball to ensure that you're not out. This may involve understanding some of the rules of cricket, and it may involve a little bit of creativity. Now obviously you can make this harder again by moving on to using maybe the seam balls or swing balls we looked at using in previous weeks, which if it hits that, it's obviously going to deviate away. You can introduce things like our ramps to get some deviations in, or some kind of, that's like an offence ramps or something like that. You can be as creative as you like. But the main theme is playing through that offside and what types of shots are going to work for you. As I said earlier, the challenge, how many runs can you score before you have to hit a ball into the leg side? Good luck. So the next part of the video is just for those of you that maybe want a little bit of assistance, a couple of tips that may help you to play through the offside. So the first thing you probably need to decide is the length that the ball is. So the length is how close it bounces to you as a batsman. So a full length would be something that bounces here really close, whereas maybe a good length is around about there. In a shorter pitch ball would be further away from us. Again, it depends, it's all about how high the ball's going to bounce. If it's going to bounce close to me and relatively low, I can get on the front foot to play some drives. And we've looked at drives in previous videos, how we want to get all of our weight pointing towards the target, and it is a vertical back pass. So if that ball is straight, I can hit it back nice and straight, and I'm still in this offside game. If the ball pitches a bit shorter and it's going to bounce up a bit more around waist high, I can get onto the back foot, and I can either play back foot drives with a vertical back path, or I can potentially play a shot like a cut shot, which is a horizontal bat. Play around with both of those. It's all going to depend on how tight the ball is to your body. If it's a long way away, you can probably go with more space for the horizontal bat. I'd suggest that one of the major things that you may be struggling with here when playing through the offside is going to be having a dominant bottom hand. So for me as a right-hander, I am right-handed, so my strongest hand is my bottom hand. Now if my bottom hand comes on through and generates too much force, naturally you see it's pointing towards the leg side. As I just switch to a cricket bat here, so if I just put this in my bottom hand here, so it's just in my bottom hand, you see how that bat comes through, and when I make contact, it's trying to go towards there. So you want to loosen that bottom hand a bit more, and it's the top hand you want to be tight. So for me as a right hander, the top hand is my left hand. That allows the full face of the bat and means I can direct that ball comfortably towards the offside. The other thing I would recommend is to try and wait for the ball a little bit more. So if you see me here, if I go out to reach the ball too early, naturally to stop myself, my weight starts to go towards the leg side. So if I can wait for that ball and play it here, underneath my eyes, or on the back here underneath the eyes, it means I can guide it and direct it towards the offside. So that there may also be useful for you. So some other things that you may wish to consider. Now, in one-day cricket these days, if, say, the leg side is packed and we need to score through the offside because that's where the space is, you see some players, before the ball is bowled, taking a step away from their stumps to leave their stumps exposed. So that's something you could do here, that as this ball is bowled, give yourself room to play. Obviously, there's a risk to exposing your stumps like that, but it does mean that you give yourself space, so we could try to play some different shots by doing that. So those of you that are maybe interested in advancing this a little bit more, a couple of weeks ago we talked about playing with and against the spin. Now this ramp I've put here as if I'm facing a right arm off spin bowler, so if I hit that ramp it's going to turn back into my body towards the leg side. Now we said that ideally you want to play with the spin, so if it's turning this way I want to play that way, so I want to play to the leg side. But in this game that is banned, so this could be an extra challenge for you. So as this ball hits that ramp, if I can get it to hit the ramp, it's going to come back into me, which is going to cramp me for room. Now one way you can get around this is that by clearing this left leg, so my front leg as a right-hander, to the leg side, it opens up a chance to play through the offside.